Corey here for CanadaPoker.com, and I've got Michael McDonald right here with me today, and he's been playing in the $2,200 No Limit Hold'em event here at the Canadian Open Poker Championships. So how have you been doing here?
Overall, the trip hasn't been too successful or anything like financially, but I've played 4 tournaments. I've gotten pretty deep in 3 of them. I bubbled the 1100, I bubbled the heads up, and now here I got like 14th for a min cash, but it was still nice to capitalize off of one of my deep runs to an extent.
Right. Absolutely. So, you're of course you're from Waterloo, and now you've headed down west. You've played in the EPTs as well. I think in EPT Germany, you had a first place finish a couple of years ago in 2008, right?
Yeah.
And so, how are the Calgary players and the local players in Canada compared to those European guys?
I would say it's a very different style of play. Like I would say, the Canadian players really splash around a lot more at the start of tournaments than almost any group of players I've played against. It could just be the fact that inside events, usually people splash around more than they do in main events, and when I go to the EPT, a lot of them I'm playing are just like the 5k euro or 8k euro buy-ins. But I would say in the later stages, people actually tend to be tighter.
Right.
A lot of people don't re-steal as much. They're not like in Europe. It's not uncommon to see someone like re-steal all in with like 7-6 off or some like really marginal hand. But here, there seemed to be a decent number of players who once like the money gets on the line, they become fairly cautious. But I would say European players tend to play more consistent throughout the tournament.
Right.
Canadian players tend to start really loose and become much tighter as it goes on.
Okay, gotcha. Now, of course, and I'm sure you're kind of tired of answering these sorts of questions. You know, people do focus on your age a lot. You know, the fact that you won EPT Germany at the age of 18, and now you're only 20, almost 21. You know, what is it that sort of, how did you get so good at such a young age?
A lot of it comes down to the fact that on the internet you can get so many hands in so quickly. Like a lot of the top players have only been playing poker for a couple of years. Like that, you often hear about someone who's played poker for 60 years or something, and that's a lot less intimidating to me than someone who's been playing poker very seriously on a high level online for a couple of years.
Right.
So I think that I think that just being able to play online and also having a lot of friends in my hometown who play poker very seriously as well to talk to were the main factors for me being able to get pretty successful at a pretty young age.
Right. And sort of another question, when you're playing brick and mortar tournaments, that sort of thing, right, you're able, I guess you're more likely to be able to find someone's tail or something like that, whereas online you don't see someone and you don't see their face, you don't see anything that's going on, you can't look in their eyes and you sort of wonder, you know, what's going on in there. So how do you find that sort of thing online?
Yeah, like online there's obviously player specific tendencies. Like there are people who I've played with thousands or tens of thousands of hands over the years, and you get a good feel for how they play their strong hands, how they play their weak hands. Like, but the problem is a lot of online players, they play much more consistently than the live players. Like a lot of like online, if you have super obvious patterns, people are just going to take a note of that, and eventually like you get to the long run so much quicker online. Like the bad players, they're going to lose, and like then you won't see those people anymore. So it tends to be a lot more of the solid players who have survived over the years. But in a live tournament, since it's such a high percentage recreational players, there is a lot more people who are doing who are making plays or doing things that might not be as strategically sound as the people online. But I'd say like live or online, the main thing is that like a lot of people think it's impossible to get reads online, but between like players' tendencies, between their timing, and the biggest thing is just their bet sizing, you can get a decent amount of information. Even in live poker, a lot of people don't pay much attention to bet sizing, but I think in terms of ways in which I can determine strength or weakness or deduce like a very like tight range of what hole cards someone could have, it's almost always bet sizing related.
Okay, right. Gotcha. So any other stuff now, moving into something else, anything else on the horizon for you in terms of brick and mortar stuff or tournaments, any that sort of thing?
Not really. I'm going back to school in the fall, so I'm excited about turning 21 and being able to play the World Series next summer. And if there are any big tournaments in Canada that like, if I could just take a day or two off school and go play them, I'll probably play those in the next year. But other than that, I can't really see myself like traveling to Europe during the school year or anything like that. So I'll be definitely scaling back a decent amount over the next 8 months.
Okay. And what will you be studying in school?
Business administration.
Awesome. So best of luck with that, actually. Usually I wish players best of luck in their future tournaments, but since you're heading back to school, wish you best of luck in that. It'll probably be quite a challenge as well. It's for some more harder than poker, possibly. You never know.
It'll be a big change to go from like like 3 years of like waking up when I want, sleeping when I want,
Yeah.
like not having any sort of schedule or any responsibilities
That's
to
it.
being back in school. But I'm sure within a couple of weeks I'll be pretty used to it, and it won't feel new anymore. But
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm sure there'll be like quite a few, like, I don't know, interesting experiences when I'm like, oh yeah, this is what it's like to be like an ordinary person again. Like after
exactly.
so many poker players have such ridiculous schedules, and it'll be cool to see how I adapt.
Right, absolutely. So yeah, no, best of luck with that, and I hope you do great. And congratulations on your position so far in the tournament. And hope to talk to you again soon. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much.